Uh-huh. All right. So, anyway, hey guys, my name is Brian Barnagacci, and welcome, folks, to just a random game. I had a prepared video. Welcome back to my channel. This is kind of an update, brief thing concerning the channel. To all those who have been following, watching, I don't know how many people out there even have been, but I just want to quickly say that, yeah, I rambled on for a little bit. So, you know, I started to play another game called Doom and kind of got lost because there's not much I could do with it. But, yeah, I'm just going to talk while I play. I don't like to sit there and talk and not play. But there's just not a lot of games I can actually consider that it's something I can play and you know, even though it's got story mode in it, the story mode really sucks. And I'm just playing on one of my favorite maps I like to play. So, but yeah, pretty much. You know, I mean, I feel if it was just a regular game that I could actually do a proper playthrough of, I wouldn't just be talking, I would be playing the game. So, anyway, this is the first day in a long time that I've actually could actually record a bunch of videos. Even though this video player does not allow more than one because of how much space it takes up. I mean, unless I do like small videos, and I don't really want to make small videos. Um, I mean, if I have to, I'll do it in such a way that I can combine the videos if it'll let me. The thing about video merger is that I'm gonna let me put this just for the record, okay? Before I continue that on, this is not a way to take advantage of it, but if you can't afford it, like me, because I think it's ridiculous, I really do. And, you know, you have so many programs, and the recorder kind of program. I'll go right. Uh, I'll be back. I hate when I turn this off; it stops the video. But I'll be right back. So anyway, this game is called Command and Conquer: Retaliation, and this is the very first game of Command and Conquer I have ever played. If you don't know that much about me, uh, but I can say this as well: is that I just don't particularly do well with other people around unless there are people here to provide voices and stuff like that. But this isn't one of those typical things to do with that. But anyway, so moving on. Uh, I gotta say, I have also been trying to record a video here for some time now. It just hasn't turned out too well. As I hate when I ramble on, even though that, I mean, I have a good reason to ramble on, but like for a whole hour, no. Or at least, or not do anything in the meantime, and that's just ridiculous. And it's just useless information, I guess, unless you really care. I mean, you can skip over it and watch me play if you want to. I don't care. But I'm not gonna apologize. I mean, because I could give you some cheap excuse, but it is true. You know, I'm not gonna apologize for not recording when I had, you know, when I had opportunity. I could have done that. But the thing of it is that I had things to do, and it's true. I'm not gonna say, I'm sorry I had to do that and I had to do this. I'm not sorry. Because you know what? How many of you out there would be willing to go out of their way to help their family? How many of you? I don't even know why I always started out. Sometimes you just can't help but feel like, oh, you need to say sorry, but you really shouldn't because, you know, I would do it. I have no problem helping people. You know, as long as I still have energy by the time at the end of the day, if I actually feel like recording. I mean, by no means am I obligated to make a video. I don't owe anything to anybody. I mean, except to myself, because if I promise myself to do something, then I will get it done when in a manly manner. I'm not worried about when. You know, I ain't gonna apologize about nothing. Even though, I mean, I do tend to do that, which is nuts, but I do that. Anyway, I'm gonna do that so I can. Because if I don't, I won't be able to get to where I need to. And the speed on this thing, I don't know why I didn't used to do this, but back when I used to get this game, even on the actual one on console, well, actually this is console based, but I'm playing a console on a computer. Anyway, you know, what was I saying? Right. So it would have it on normal speed. If it's on faster than that, yeah, no, you can't take your time. But basically, I'm just kind of, this is one of those excuse kind of type bills. So I mean, just but yeah, I mean, there's been a whole lot going on, and I don't want to ramble on about it, but I will say that I have, you know, I just have a whole lot of things going on for several days. It's been way too long before I've had a chance to actually properly record plenty of videos. And I'll tell you something else you don't know is that when you consider playing a game like this, you know, there's that. Or if you want to make more, I'm stuck on Tales of Fantasia right now. I gotta look at the guide, which I dread doing. And yes, I am a bit of a better guide. I would say so. Because that guide, most of the time, was correct, but it was also full of junk. And I could say that openly because of the whole idea that, yeah, like, for instance, you had to be like level 15. No, 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 no. I was in there. We beat them. Took a little bit. I think we were like less than 15, and we beat that. Wow. Or was I higher? I can't remember. Either way, I recommended level 15. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, we weren't even level 15, and we beat them. Now that was really hard to do, wasn't it? I mean, it took a little bit, but see, the only harder difficulty about it, again, would have been the whole, oh, gee, maybe I should have, you know, learned more because I mean, the difficulty is, if you don't know how to do a game, that's about it. Like how to do the controls. There were some controls I had to learn on my own, but other than that, it wasn't much I could do. Mhm. Oh, great. You know, I hate about this game is that when the AI is all the same, or when they can't even take over one of the bases. There's supposed to be a way to have both. And I thought that if I beat all the levels, which actually I'm having difficulty with that. I have had all this difficulty. I mean by that I mean the story campaign mode. I'd be able. I mean, even in a little bit, you would even be able to unlock some more stuff because there are stuff that's missing in this game. You know, that is true. But anyway, so this game here is one of my favorites. Not just because of Tanya or anything. You know, I feel that I was watching. Okay, fun animation. Let me put back that up. Let me just start over. Fun animation has failed to do so. Keep me up, babe. And you cannot do that with a business and take a break for several weeks and never do anything or not leave it to someone else. That's not how you run a business. That's an excuse to shut it down. The whole objective is to try and protect your forces and try to get to an island. That's the point of this map. I mean, or even though overall the objective is to try and take out the enemy any way you can. Well, that's overall the objective. But when you first start out, your objective is to try and either survive or survive long enough to get to a secret island so you can start all over and try to rescue all your forces out of here as much as possible. So, but anyway, I mean, that's when you're doing skirmish mode. Campaign mode is a little bit different because you don't really have the option to, just survive. I mean, you can try to survive, but you gotta try and build fast. Even though they have other objectives in some of the levels, like specific targets, stuff like that. I'm gonna tell you, I hate the campaign mode. The campaign mode I hate about it is because, it's not really, it's enjoyable once you know what you're doing and everything, but a lot of times, even if you are able to know what you're doing, you can't enjoy it because, well, you gotta constantly try to protect your base and try to make sure that you set up traps to, keep them from coming over to you and try to take you down, with other forces coming in, as well as try to take down other objects you gotta take down before you can even take down their base of operations. So that's about the best of it for the campaign mode. That's what sums it up without spoiling it too much for you, but that's how this game works. Skirmish mode is it's way more complex and fun. You can cheat if you want to, makes it much more easier to do. For like, because you can do a lot more. I mean, you can do even more as the missions go on. But the very first few missions, it's always they start you out with so little, and that's ridiculous. And yet the enemy sometimes start off like that, but not always. Uh, Pretty much, they have more advanced options than you do. That's stupid. The thing about Command and Conquer Retaliation is, with skirmish mode, you don't actually have to have Soviet disc, which is disc 2, uh, to absolutely play skirmish mode. You do if you want to actually play on that campaign. Otherwise, you don't need it. That's the thing about Command and Conquer Retaliation. I don't know about the others in this series. It's apparently some kind of guy that I've never even heard of. Um, you know, and yeah, there's a little bit of cruelty going on to animals and human beings. But here's the thing: it's just a game. It's not real life. First of all, and secondly, there's nothing I can do about it. I hate having to kill dogs, even in skirmish mode. But the way the AI is, because of the way they programmed it, is the dog has to come after us. And it's unfortunate they only programmed it like only the Soviets had the dog. Even though we had dogs, but that's neither here nor there. So, yeah. I mean, again, it's just a video game. Not much I can do. It's already done. You know, I try and skip it out because I mean, there's not. I mean, much as I can, but I can't promise you much of anything. Anyway, and the reason I'm building up some of my forces so we can survive long enough to get the hell off this island. The goal I like to always go for is a small island over there, which no one ever takes advantage of. The AI never does. I mean, at random, they might come after you once you've taken over the island, but otherwise, no. And I may or may not have actually asked for infinite power and infinite gold. But it's really not infinite because it goes down anyway, which makes no sense whatsoever. But hey, it is what it is. Now, what we gotta do in order to do this, we gotta build a service debot. Man. Oh wow. hmm Yes, it's a game based on strategy. You got to be able to do anything you can to survive. Oh man. Oh no. Oh no. That's not good. And this is the very reason why I have it on infinite, because they can easily take out your trucks. If you take out your old trucks, you're pretty much screwed. Oh, oh, that's not good. Oh man, that is never good. Never good. Well, we tried. Oh man. Hmm. Well, we tried. Failed miserably. Okay. Okay. Apparently, those are uh, random, and I don't know how you're supposed to get them. I know you're probably thinking, well, what could I use? Well, you know. So anyway, well, we tried to rescue our people, but we just weren't fast enough. Sometimes that can happen when you're playing a game. You're just trying to enjoy it. Yeah. Mhm. Oh yeah. Like I said, I'm trying to get my people off of here. Takes a lot of boats to do this with. I mean, I'll tell you what. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, so I should have built another boat. Oh well. We'll get him out of there soon, eventually. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Another thing is, you always want to go for the lowest part of the map because, well, that's where the water is. If you don't, you can't do what you need to do. I mean, you can still survive, but it won't be easy. I mean, sometimes the game will let you live long enough to rebuild your forces and then go down for them. But other than that, it doesn't always. It's still pretty fun. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. All right. Then we want to take our forces to there. And then that'll be it. Well, I mean, I can't promise I'll be showing this game very often, but hey, I missed Sunday's schedule, but that's all right. I'll release this video today, and then I'll do some more later. As far as releasing goes, he stopped because they ran out of order, which is fine. And another thing is, if you're lucky enough, you can actually do plenty of the, it's like I would restrict it to at least about 4 of these oil refineries in a certain pattern, and try to keep it away from the ore fields. If you have to put something there to protect them, or rather, protect your place from being, you know, invaded by the enemy. I mean, this place is a much better place to absolutely take your time and rebuild your forces because you're not constantly attacked, but you will be constantly attacked once they, and it pretty much does what it has to. Like every time you build, they build, and I'm not kidding. Sometimes the game will have it where randomly they'll already be built in skirmish mode, but you know. The bad thing about this skirmish mode, it's just like campaign mode. They come after you almost constantly, or other things, and they don't even give you time. Like, I mean, they'll give you a little bit of time to get in there and get your forces out, but like in most campaign missions, it's a crazy convoluted thing about at least sacrificing at least one or two troops in order until you get your base pretty much built up, and try to get some enough troops out there to get your other ones that are trapped and get them the heck out of Dodge. Oh yeah. And you can only unload about so many ships at a time. So no matter how many you have, you don't want to do that because you lose troops that way. And plus, you want to make it so that no matter what, they can come through. And then eventually, you want to make some. Once you build up enough forces, you want to take over the leastmost spot because the enemy is not going to take over that spot. What you want to do is you want to take back over, if you can. You take over the spot you took over, or not took over, but had, or you can go to a different spot. Because sometimes the enemy does not land in that area, or because the enemy has taken out the other enemy. Depending on how many AI teams you can have up to 3 maximum, and that's it. That sucks, but it's okay. It's not too bad. I mean, it's pretty enjoyable. But I picked a really long time to do anything. Because you could be spending about 2 or 3 hours just alone trying to do this, if not longer, on campaign mode, because it takes a little bit to try and set up stuff and get stuff done for certain objectives and whatnot. Especially while you're, because especially because well, you have to try and build up your forces to you know basically you have to make sure that your forces are built enough to protect your base while at the same time trying to set up certain things. And I would go over it, but I can't properly play this game that way. I'd have to really practice, because there's also a mission that I am incapable of absolutely doing, and that mission is one to do with rescuing, taking someone and trying to make it through, because you have to rely on factors trying to get him through, and it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, there's also ones that I do kind of struggle with, but I can certainly bypass them eventually. The one that I can only find is harder than Haze, because you can't build up your base. But other than that, you know, there's that. And I don't know when this phone's supposed to come in, but man, I'll tell you. All right. Well, anyway, that's all. I guess I'll leave it here. Um, I don't know why it says substantially muted because there's nothing being used of the mic. Stupid thing. Anyway, all right. I mean, like I said, I won't. I'm not gonna promise anything. I might record this again. I might not. But again, this is just an update video, sort of. Kind of let y'all know what's happening. It's a deadline because I've been busy. Everything else going on. All right, later.